Hey Flosstube, hi, it's Tony. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Rosé and Exhaustion. Now, last week I did actually post my second Flosstube, and I promptly took it down the next morning because I had completely forgotten to show any of my whips. It was brought to you by Chardonnay last week, and it showed quite dramatically, which this one probably is going to too. I am not going to edit this one either, outside of tagging last week's one onto the back of it, because that's got all my haul from the last couple of weeks, months. Long story short, we moved. Well, we bought a house in the last week in November. We moved in the second weekend of December. And we had a Christmas do last weekend, and I am exhausted. I work 12-hour days, and for a company I'm a HVAC specialist. I do design builds, I project manage the builds that I do. Most of them are domestic, some of them are commercial, some of them are massive, some of them are small, but it's a lot of work, and I do look after a team. So this one is going to be at the front. Hi to my 2 subscribers. I have 2 now. It's an improvement on last week, which was 1. Anyway, this is not, I'm not really going to show you any haul with this one. This is literally going to be talking about what my thoughts and plans are for the next year. I have a Black Needle Society diary coming. I've actually got 2 coming because I bought the first one. It wasn't shipped in time. It was shipped, not sure. Then the really cool one landed, and I managed to score one of them. So that's on its way as well, and I'm hoping it arrives before the first. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't. I'll just catch up when I catch up. But it is on its way, and when that happens, I will formalise what I'm going to do in writing. But at the moment, it's pretty much just a thought process. But basically today I'm going to go through my whips, my plans, and then I'll tag the drunk ass one from last week on this one, which will be this week's drunk ass one. Next year I'll probably do some sober, but right now it's Christmas time. I'm really tired. I've got all the family coming home for Christmas again, and that's cool. I love my family. I'm very, very, very family orientated. We have family dinners all the time. I go to my dad's house every Wednesday for Wine Wednesday. Today is actually Wednesday, but he said not to come because it's a week before Christmas, and he's coming on Saturday for Christmas. So, plus he's feeling a bit, you need to stay at home because you're tired, which I really get because I actually am. Don't know if you can see it, but I have giant bags under my eyes. I turned 50 this year. I'm really tired. So first up, I do have a finish. It's going to be difficult to show you the finish because the finish is actually at the framers. When I did my last one, it was a piece of fabric that I hadn't put a stitch in yet, I think. Pretty confident. Could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. But I did Current Mood from the Halloween issue of Just Cross Stitch. I did it for a little boy who is my friend's adopted son. He lost his mum last year, just over a year ago, to suicide, which is a very strong trigger for me. I lost my brother 23 years ago. Good God, it'd be about 26 years ago. I'm getting really old. He was 22 at the time, and he was only 18 months younger than me. So I lost my brother to suicide. Last year I lost a nephew to suicide, so this really tugged on my heartstrings. The little fella's only 4. And he loves cats, and he loves Halloween. And his mum is adorable. So, bear with, because I have to do this one via photo, and I have a few photo ones today, so you'll have to bear with on all of those. And it's not a great photo, but that was before I ironed it. Oh God. That was before I ironed it, when I took it to the, that does actually work. I see people do that all the time, I've often wondered. But yeah, it was just before I took it to the framers. Why does my cat look like a butthole? Never mind. So yeah, that's ready to go. It was done on Colour Cascade Stormbringer. And I've actually got it going straight into a blue frame with no border edging or anything to straighten to the frame. He's only 4. He's going to love it. And the one that I did last week, I mentioned that I had ordered my mother's Christmas gift in August, thinking it would get here. It was a fairly quick stitch. It was the la-di-da, something wicked. This one, we've all seen it. It's never going to be, well, it's not going to be framed in time anyway. I didn't think I'd even get to start it on Sunday after the party. I had had enough of the world, so I just sat down and stitched, and I actually got pretty far. So that's how far I actually got. I'm not taking it out the hoop because I'm in the process, but that's how far I am with it. Kind of hopeful. I'm seeing her on Monday. Because she lives in Tauranga, which is an hour away, and this year we've elected not to travel, and she's going to my brother's house because he's got some little ones, which I totally get. She absolutely, children, Christmas, that's a thing. So she's going to my brother's, so we're going to go over and see her on Monday, and I'm hoping that I might get it finished on Boxing Day, might being the operative word, and then I can at least show her what it looks like before I get it framed. Because it sucks not getting an actual present, but at least I've actually made some serious progress on it. So that's all I've stitched on in the last month, literally all. In fact, from the 27th of November through to, I'm going to say the 19th, I didn't put a single stitch in anything because I was unpacking or I was packing, and it's life. Just life. So that's those anyway. So what I'm going to do next year is I'm going to have a focus piece. Now the focus piece, I'm going to do the 25/7. I want to do 25 minutes every day on this. It's been going for quite a few years now. I think I started it in 2018. I taped it. They'd never done something quite like this before. It's a Heaven and Earth design, and it's called oh god, don't look at that, I had my hair dyed yesterday and the root part is still like all over the face. I've done full coverage. I've finished a couple of full coverage pieces, but not as big or as long-winded as this one. I did cats, Heaven and Earth cats a couple of years ago for my daughter, and I taped up the sides like I always did, but I've discovered, as one does as one progresses through life, that taping up the sides on a Heaven and Earth is not a good plan because it all leaches into the sides. But worse than that, miscalculated the fabric. At least I think I miscalculated the fabric. I suspect I got it sideways. Anyway, or I got the count wrong. Anyway, I've had to knock the last 30 rows off, so she's going to be standing on the frame. But at least she's going to get feet. She is going to get feet. There is feet. So this is going to be my focus piece for next year, and I really want to get it finished and sent to my sister. Possibly I should have just started further up. So that's how far I am with it right now. Yeah, so that's about halfway, just a little over halfway. So I'm hoping with the 25 a day I'll at least make some serious headway on that and get that pretty close to done. So that's going to be my focus piece for next year because I want to get that finished. I need to get that finished for my sister. I'm probably going to sort out a whip go or something like that. I don't know. But I'm going to concentrate on a few bits and bobs. I'm not going to concentrate on everything that I've got going, not all my whips. I try to keep my whips down to under 15. Until 2 years ago, I used to keep them under 1. I literally would have one piece and I'd work on it, but YouTube and the invention of everything else has led to a vice, and that vice is cross stitch, mostly, pretty much mostly. So after I've got Mum's one out the way, I'm going to catch up on my cryptid, and that's going to definitely be a finish. So that's where I am with my cryptid. That's where I was. I got to the frogman before I started current mood, and then I made a focus on current mood, and now Mum's something wicked. So that will be my focus straight afterwards to get that caught up on. Now this is going to be a part of my whip go. This is for my granddaughter, and I just found out yesterday that I'm going to be a granny again. So that's where I am with my mythical creatures. This was Pain-Free Crafts stitch along from last year, and that is as far as I've gotten. Still working on it, obviously. I want to get it finished for her because it's going to be so cute and all, and I'd like her to get it before she's 16. She's 3 in April, so I'm really hoping to get that one finished so that I can give it to her. It's not going to be by her birthday, but hopefully by next Christmas. Also, I want to get the Autumn Lane Stitchery one done. She's upside down. Hang on. That's where I am with her currently on page 2. Now for this one, if you are a pearl clutcher, possibly not going to be your cup of tea, my husband wants me to do it with boobs out. He actually liked that one, and when I asked him his opinion, which direction I should go, that was the direction he wanted me to go. He doesn't really say much about it because he's just used to me doing it. He does like what I do, don't get me wrong, and he's very encouraging. But for him to actually say, I really like this design as opposed to this design, I'm going to go with that because it's probably going to be in our bedroom, but mostly because of the boobs out thing, to be honest. Probably would have gone somewhere else without the boobs out, but there you go. Also, this is going to be a focus, and I've got everything ready to go on her. She is adorable. I just love Evanora. I keep going to call her Eleanor, but Evanora. One of my favourite musicals is Wicked, and it reminds me very, very much of that, and I want to put it in a cameo styled frame when she's finished. So I've got all the bits and bobs, so she's going to go in there and be a new start for next year. The other one that I wouldn't mind doing is Witching Hour. I don't have the beads for that yet, working on that, but she might be a start, she might not be. If I do, I actually might frame it exactly the same. Not 100% sure what I'm going to do there, but I will figure it out. Now, this is where it gets interesting, and I'm sorry, but this is all going to be with my phone. Now, I'm not going to get it out and drag it out because it looks like crap, but I have started, I went to Spotlight, which is our version of Michael's or Joanne's or whatever, with a Heaven and Earth Story Keep design, and I'm doing a latch hook rug based on a Story Keep, and I've picked the Littlest Fairy. I'm about, oh gosh, hang on, let's see if we can get this for you. Nope, that's not going to do it. Where are we going to go that you can see it? There we go. The Littlest Fairy. I've actually gotten down to about her shoulders, and I want to pick that one up and start doing that properly again. The last house that we were in was quite dark, and it had, I found I didn't cook very well or much in that house, and I found that I didn't, I stitched a lot, but it wasn't for joy, it was for something else to do. The house was very, very dark. You had to turn the lights on every single day, all day during winter, and even at lunchtime in the middle of summer you'd have to turn the lights on in the kitchen. It was quite a dark house, and it's not until we moved in here we realised quite how wearing it actually was to us. Both my husband and I found that we've started being engaged again and starting to do things again. Yes, we're knackered right now, and yes, we've only been here for a couple of weeks, and yes, we actually own this one, which we didn't own the last one. We were just renting between houses, but we were in that house for 18 months, and I never picked up my knitting. I never picked up anything except my cross stitch. My cross stitch, it was because it was easy, and my cross stitch also meant that I didn't have to do anything. Excuse my little red cheeks. It's not completely alcohol. It is, I live in New Zealand. It is currently the 22nd of December, and I can tell you it is, as soon as I figure out where the temperature thing is, it is currently 22 degrees outside and just shy of 8 o'clock at night, and that's taken in the shade, so it's a bit warm and I'm a bit gluggy, but yeah, it is life. So back to what I'm up to. So that's that one. Now I have I hope to start my first chatelaine next year. I've got 3 technically. I've got this one, which is Sparkling Peacock, and I have got somebody kitting that up for me currently in the UK, and I can't remember the name of the company right now, but it's a very famous company that most people use. They're having trouble getting a few of the bits and bobs like everybody else out there, so I'm still waiting on that. It's been on order since August. I've actually decided I'm not going to start that one first out. I'm going to start with a smaller one, but in the interim I bought a secondary one, which is Halloween Kitty. Oh god, which is absolutely adorable. I really like that one. But again, that's not going to be my starting point. This is going to be my starting point, and I'm going to do it on white. I actually like when you do bright, vibrant things with beads and stuff. I do buy hand-dyed fabrics in interesting colours and colour combinations and what have you, and they do have a place. They definitely have a place. But for me, the chatelaines, with all the specialty threads and the specialty stitches, I think that the colourways can hide the work. So I'm going to do this in a clear white linen. But this one's called Spider's Web. And, gold, there we go. That is going to be my first start. She is half the size of all the other ones, and I think it's actually a good start for me because they're a little daunting, but I'm excited. The other thing that I'm going to do, and I've already got the fabrics for them, and with the house we bought, I think I might talk about this in the next one, but I could be wrong. I've got the fabric, so I'm going to do a glass of white wine and a glass of red wine on the black, and I'm going to frame them in that very narrowly, again without a backboard I think. The reason I'm going to do these two is this house is built in the mid-60s, but it's got a real 70s vibe about it, and so do these, and I think they'd actually look really cool on the wall above. Like, I've got an old Art Deco drinks trolley. The house has actually got a built-in drinks entertainment cabinet, which we're actually going to, at the moment it's a really dark painted wood, painted a wood colour over wood. It's kind of ugly at the moment in time, but it's quite retro and cool, so we're actually going to get it sprayed down into white, and we're going to knock the middle out of it and use it as an insert for our TV. All these walls that you see around me right now are going to come out eventually, and that window above me is going to go that way and be behind me, because we're going to have a big walk-in pantry, because at the moment I don't even have a pantry and I can't reach half the cupboards. My husband has to come into the kitchen and help me cook because I'm too freaking short. So this is actually going to look really cool in the house, and I may actually do one for my dad as well, but we'll wait and see on that. The other thing, and this is the final bit, is we have a strange little, well, strange is not quite the right word. We've got an ensuite and a walk-in wardrobe, but the way it's done is quite odd, and the fact that you walk out of the bedroom and into a little hallway, and the wardrobe's to the side, and then you go into the ensuite, which is incredibly long, and then you go through another door and you're into another bedroom, which we've turned into another lounge. It's a 4-bedroom house. We've turned it, we're basically using it as a 3-bedroom with an entertainment area, mostly because my husband likes sports, which I do too, but not all the time. So I watch some games, but not all the games, and I'd rather watch horror movies, to be honest with you, and he gets a little over zombie movies. Apparently it's not his cup of tea. I'm not sure why. I think they're pretty cool. Anyway, where you go past the wardrobe, there's the door, and then there's 2 pillars that come down the side. Walls that come down the side. They're not massive, but what I actually want to do is, I've bought all the quick stitch shoes by Michael. I'm not even going to say that. You guys can figure that one out. But this one's Fatal Attraction. Oh God. Then we have, which one's this one? Marie Antoinette. And then we have, oh God, I didn't take a great photo of this one. Paradise Found. Bird of Paradise is one of my favourite flowers, because of my grandmother, to be honest. Then we have Salvatore. and we have Veronica. I've got a daughter named Veronica. And then we have Volcane de Moor. So I think that's a 6. I thought I'd bought 7, but who knows. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them framed up in white. Just do them in white so that they're really quite, all you see is the shoe. And I'm going to do them in white, and I'm going to have 3 running down either side of the walls before you go into the wardrobe. The wardrobe's actually got a door on it currently, and I'm going to get my husband to pop that off over the Christmas break because, we don't need it. It doesn't face towards any windows. Why do we need a door there? The door seems a bit negligent, and there's a rail behind it, which is a pain in the ass because it means you've got to shut the door to get to the rail. So that means we've got nothing on the rail because it's a pain in the ass to get to. So we'll take the door off, get rid of the door. So that's pretty much where I'm at. There will be more to it. I'm also definitely already signed up for, had the fabric arrive today, and it's freaking huge. So for the pain-free craft Wind in the Willows stitch along for next year, which I'm really excited about. I think that might be my new grandbaby's one, to be honest. And also I will definitely be doing the next Autumn Land Stitchery one, which apparently is coming out in January, but knowing Aaron and Cassandra, it's probably going to be late. But yeah, and there's a couple of samplers I wouldn't mind going. I'm not really a sampler person, but I've got some great threads, as I talked about in the previous one, that I would really like to trial on a sampler. I think that's the best place to show them off, and I've got a couple of really cute samplers, so we'll give it a go. So they will hopefully become a part of the rotation as well, but we'll wait and see. I'm kind of very much up in the air at the moment, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I've got knitting projects I want to bring back out. I've got 2 blankets on the go. I've got a jersey on the go. I taught myself to knit via the internet about 4 years ago, and I knitted the same bunny about 3 frickin' times. Never knitting that bunny again. Anybody want a bunny pattern? I've got a bunny pattern. But yeah, we'll see how we go. But yeah, thanks guys. Hope you enjoy your Christmas. You're not going to see me again before then, I hope. Probably not. But yeah, I'll be back very soon. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey Flosstube, welcome to my house in Matamata. I am Tony and I live in New Zealand in a little town called Matamata, as I just said. Better known to most of the world as Hobbiton. We were where the Shire was filmed for all the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings movies, and I have been to Hobbiton so many times it's not funny, and that makes most of my overseas friends incredibly jealous. Tonight you are brought by Rose to my channel. Long story short, we moved very quickly. When I did my first Flosstube, we were shopping for a house, nothing really on the horizon. We had a couple of offers, well, we had a offer in, because in New Zealand you can't have multiple offers out at the same time. So we had an offer in, it fell over. My husband had viewed a house while we had the offer in on the other house, and I refused to go because I can only do one thing at a time when it comes to substantial amounts of money. And so it wasn't until that house fell over that I let him take me to the open home for the other house. We viewed it. The auction was a week later. We had to get builders reports, limb reports, all that sort of stuff, because I don't know how it works everywhere else, but in New Zealand, put it down, in New Zealand, when you go to auction, you have to have cash, you have to pay that day, you have a settlement date afterwards, but you have to pay your deposit that day, and the settlement date is literally just enough time so that people can get organised to move and what have you, because a lot of people that go to auction, houses in New Zealand are really expensive, like really expensive. I look at American flipper homes, and they've got these beautiful homes that hardly need anything doing to them, and they go for 300-400, and a house like that in New Zealand would go for 9. In fact, did. We were in one. It is what it is. We all live in the same thing. And on the other side of that, we have one of the highest minimum wage, that's mine, minimum wage things in the world. Our minimum wage is $20 an hour, and our house prices unfortunately do reflect that. Food prices also reflect that. Unfortunately, when your minimum wage is high, so is all your cost of living, and everything goes up from there. So it is what it is. We all live here and we all do the best we can. But it is a beautiful country, and the Shire is a stunning place to live. So yeah, we've moved into this house 2 weeks after we purchased it, which is, even our lawyer was going, wow, that's quick. But we moved in on the 1st of December because it's Christmas. I don't want to be moving at Christmas. I have 4 children. They're all adults. I have 1 grandchild. I want them to come home. I don't want to be surrounded by boxes and not have beds and all that sort of stuff. So we moved on the 1st of December. We've had no internet because we moved too fast for the people to keep a track of that. We had no gas because we moved too fast for the people to keep a track of that. But we're in. We're done. And we finally got internet yesterday, so yay! I have drunk way too much over the last few days. I have stitched virtually nothing. In fact, my one project I have forgotten to bring over, so I'll insert that later, I think, because this is going to be a one-hit wonder. You're going to get it as it comes. Basically, what I'm showing is stuff that I purchased over the last 3 months that finally arrived. Stupid COVID. Yeah, and I wanted to do these once a month, and it's been about 6 weeks, but without an internet you can't do anything, so it is what it is. So anyway, let's start with this one. So, this one, pretty sure this was Stitchy Ferret. Oh, no, actually it might be Lakeside. Oh good God, I can't remember what I bought. I'm going to have to put the eye crutches on. I am old, I am 50, and no. Pretty sure this is Lakeside. It is Lakeside. Okay, so I purchased this piece of fabric to go with the spooky sale, the spooky candelabra sale. It's finally turned up. Nothing has arrived in New Zealand in under 3 months. It's terrible, but it is what it is. You've just got to roll. So yeah, my fabric. Oh, that's actually not too bad. It's actually lovely and bright and orange, and I love the fact that it's mottled. And I can't wait to stitch it. It's not going to be for a couple more weeks. I've still got a pile of boxes to go through, and it is Christmas. But I've convinced my husband that he needs to go away for a few nights to visit his friends. So I will get some stitching time on my own. Me and the cats, of which we have far too many. So yeah, that was that. Now, what else I have been doing? Now, New Zealand is the bottom of the world, and because we live in the bottom of the world, we really, really struggle to get things at times. And during COVID, I had many situations where I couldn't get DMC cottons. Just your standard DMC cottons, they'd run out and they'd be gone for months. I mean, like, I know you guys are having trouble with Krennic and all those other things, but we couldn't even get DMC. We're too far away. The ships would hit Australia. They'd have containers on board for New Zealand, but there weren't enough for them to feel it was worth coming over. So they'd literally dump them at the port in Sydney, and they would stay there for 6, 8, 10 weeks. And we would be charged 3-4 times what it was worth to bring it to New Zealand. So during that little bit of a learning curve, what I actually decided to do was build my own stash. So as of last week, barring 2.5 colours, I have a full stash of DMC. I made it a very concentrated effort this year to get them. Also understanding that I was about to buy a house, and DMC in New Zealand is, if you go to Spotlight, which is our equivalent of Michael's, I guess. If you go to Spotlight, they're like $2.10, $2.20. I think they might even be $2.25 now. I've stopped buying from there a long time ago, so I can't guarantee, but I found a wonderful, I'm going to call it an LNS because it's New Zealand and we're a small country, in Christchurch, which is a flight or 2 days drive from here. And Elizabeth at NZ Stitch, New Zealand Stitch, Stitch NZ, it's one of the two. I can never get it right. I really can never get it right. I've been buying them all through her. I buy all my standard fabrics from her. She doesn't do any like hand dyes or anything like that. But when it comes to like my full coverage or something that needs a really white background, I always buy my fabric from her. And I buy all my cottons from her that I can. She's $1.57 per skein of DMC, which is, for us, that's worth doing. Well worth doing. So when I sent her a message saying don't freak out when you get the next order, because we'd bought the house, for me it was a one-hit wonder, we're going to go into mortgage hell, we're going to be eating very little, which probably won't do us any harm because we're both chubby. So we're going to be eating, the good cheeses will be staying on the shelf for a while. So because of that, I put the big one to get right to the end in, and she sent me this beautiful box, DMC box, and in it was this little chart, and there was also a magenta, I can't remember the number now, but there was a magenta scheme in there, and it was just stunning, and it's my favourite colour. I don't know how she knew it was my favourite colour, but it is my favourite colour. Anything bright, to be honest, bright. So she sent me that as a thank you for all the business I've put her way, which I've put a few people onto her over the years as well. And I don't know if she knows that, but I have, because she is so easy to deal with. And I sent her a text today because I've just signed up for the Pain-Free Craft One in the Willows stitch along for next year. So I just sent her a message telling her what size fabric I needed, and she get it back, and this is what it's going to charge you, and I've paid for it, and it'll be on its way in a week, and that's fabulous. So yeah, so then I got this, which is what is this? This is in purple. Oh, this is Stitchy Ferret. Yeah. Sorry, half by expecting my husband to turn up. Stitchy Ferret always comes in these amazing little wrappers. She is adorable, Sophie. She's in the UK, and I picked this up on her Tenner Tuesday, and it's beautiful. And you guys can't really, oh, actually that's not too bad. That's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. It's more limey than that looks and less purpley, but it is stunning. And it's a 32 count Lagana. So I have no idea what I'm stitching on that, but I'm stitching something. Picking up the things are dropped. So yeah, Witchy Stitcher. She's on Etsy. She does Tenner Tuesdays. She does the most amazing hand-dyed flosses as well. And I've got quite a few of her flosses that I'm going to use on a couple of samplers next year, hopefully. Never done a sampler before. It's going to be interesting. Then we have this, which I don't know what this is either. This is going to incorporate cats flying around having a fight. Sorry. Yeah, this is going to incorporate the phone for a second. Now, Colour Cascade Fabrics in Australia. This is a 32 count Belfast linen. And I have got them because the house we've bought is very retro. It's 1960s, mid-60s. It's got kind of a 70s vibe about it because the people that built it were a little advanced with their styling. So it's actually kind of, everything's kind of original. Like I said, we don't have any pantry in this house. I have to cook with my husband because he has to reach the things because I'm too short and I can't reach the high things. We've got some things that I use on cheese boards and things. We do a lot of cheese boards. We do a lot of entertaining. We're a very social family. I love cooking. That's my cookbooks, and it goes to the floor. and I'm not going to turn you around and show you the kitchen, but it's a bit shit. So anyway, in keeping with that, I got the black fabric to go with a couple of these amazing cross stitches that I found. They're from Coracamo, and this one is glass with rose wine. It's got quite the 70s vibe about it. I actually really love them. I think they're gorgeous. And then there's then there's glass with red with white one as well. And I want to do them and just hang them in the kitchen somewhere. I think they'll actually be amazing. So that's going to go on that black fabric. A little bit daunted. I've used darker fabrics before, but not in the linen. So, oh, actually that's a lie. I did do a navy linen one time, and it pulled something terrible and ended up to be an absolute shit. I'm still hanging up. It will hang up again, but it still annoys me because you can see everything through it. The backing, the whiteboard from behind is through it, and I had to stitch that thing 3 freaking times because everybody loved it, so I had to do it for other family members, and I always did it on an Ada afterwards because it just looks so terrible in the linen. But we're also talking 25 years ago, and things have come a long way, so hopefully this one won't pull. We'll see. Wine. Anyway, okay, so this one is annoying. Back during our lockdown in August, I fell down the YouTube Flosstube rabbit hole, and it spurred me, although I never saw it being stitched, and I know most of you have actually already stitched this. I'd never, I'd looked at it several times. Sorry, could have been the husband. I've looked at it several times. I've never stitched it. I tend to be a full coverage stitcher right up until the rabbit hole, and now I have all these projects. It's just ridiculous. So I ordered this because my mum loves Shakespeare, and when she went back to high school in New Zealand, it's called college, but college, the American version of college is actually university here. So high school is our college. She went back to college when she was in her mid-40s, and she did her English, got her NCAS level 3, which is basically high school diploma. Her English version she did on Macbeth, and she's always loved it. She always brings it up. She's a bit of a pain in the ass with it. We won't go there. But yeah, so I bought the la-di-da, something wicked, and the flosses, and I also bought the fabric. The fabric arrived September. I bought the fabric from Colour Cascade, actually, I think, and that arrived last week. It was ordered mid-November, mid-August. It arrived last week. That's what I mean about how long it takes for things to get here. It's just stupid. But I've told Mum that her Christmas present is beautiful, and I'll show her a picture of it, and she'll get it next year sometime, maybe. So, onward and upward. Then the only other thing I've actually got to show today is I did the Colour Cascade. Oh, hang on, nope, got another thing. How many other things have we got? Jesus Christ, what's in here? If you're offended by swearing or blasphemy, I am not your girl. You should not be here. You might want to mosey on to the next one, because what I do for a living, I am a HVAC design person. I design air conditioning and mechanical ventilation in a small town, so that also means, sorry, I'm really tired right now. That also means that I project manage, and I am nearly every single time the only female on the work site. I used to install back in the day, but that day is long gone, and I'm too old now. Like I said, I'm 50. Nah, forget it. So anyway, it taught me how to swear. And I swear a lot. Kiwis do anyway, so I'm a sweary Kiwi. Yep, so something else that arrived. These again were ordered in August. They were actually ordered before then, and they arrived about 3-4 weeks ago. I got the Satsuma Street Nevermore. I love Edgar Allan Poe, so I'm really excited to start this one. It'll be so cool. I like all the bits in the bag. They're so awesome. And at the same time, I got the Taboo Kitty Autumn Harvest Mill Hill. Kind of have, Halloween's not a huge thing here. It's getting bigger, but it's not a huge thing here. But I really like it. My secret passion is zombie movies, and I have quite a few of them on DVD even, because you can't get half of them. I kind of have visions of actually setting up a little Halloween house here and having like a black tree with like the beaded things on it and stuff. That's probably sounds weird to anybody that lives in America, but for here, that's a really odd thing to want to do. But I really want to do it. So watch this space. It might be a thing. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, there was also the Stitchy Ferret. Now, I think I bought these hand dyed. Again, they come in a cute little orange. I think this was called Skittles. And yeah, you can't really see it. It's lovely and bright and vibrant, but that kind of makes it look a little dull. And it's like, no, you're going to have to just think it's blue, but it's not. I've got a very cool feminist sampler that I actually want to do in that, and I think the bubblegummy colours will actually give it quite a happy vibe when it's basically telling misogynists to go wreck themselves. So really kind of excited about that. So yeah, then from there we're going to go to the Colour Cascade. It was their Halloween box, which I purchased, and I'm struggling with Colour Cascade at the moment. I mean, like, she does really, really awesome work, but I just cancelled my fabric of the month from her. I've only received one since July. If I order anything else from her, it arrives within 6 to 8 weeks, but my floss of the month, the last one I received, was in July. And my box, I know that she does, I know she does a lot of them, and I know that they're not all the same, but everybody else that I saw kind of got like 2 or 3 bits of fabric and some charts and things, and I bought the big box. I bought the $200 box, and I only got the one fabric, and it's a fabric that I've had before and still have. So yeah, got Dark Side of the Moon. It is a beautiful fabric, don't get me wrong, but I just got the one large piece. It's the 32 count Lagana, 26 by 36. That's a big piece of one colour. I kind of wish I'd gotten a couple more little hand dyed. I mean, I wasn't expecting the whole thing to be hand dyed, don't get me wrong, but for $200 I'd have kind of hoped for more than that, and I kind of felt like the rest of the everything else was the stuff that she couldn't get rid of. It was also sent out 2 weeks after she said she'd sent them all out, so I really feel like I was just thrown together, and it kind of makes me sad. But yeah, got a Q-snap, well, the budget version Q-snap. It'll do the job. Get a little pair of scissors, just a standard little pair of scissors, some treasure braid and pumpkin, and 2 little pumpkin needle minders, and then I got a bunch of charts. Now, a couple of these charts are actually really cool. A couple of them make me go, what the? But I got the Love Potions charts. If anybody wants them, feel free to message me, because I'm never going to use these ones. I really aren't, and I can't see my daughters using them either. They're kind of cute, but they're not my cup of tea, so it's not going to be a thing. This is cute. Stony Creek Ghost in Graveyard. This I really like. This I probably will do. It's Black Cat Hollow Part 1. Love to see what the rest of it looks like, but I've only got Part 1. So I might have to hunt that out a little bit more because I actually really think it's quite cute. It's not usually my cup of tea, but that's actually fun. This is kind of fun too. Halloween Party by Sandra. Not going to say that last name. Can't even see it. Not putting my glasses on again. Pretty sure you can see it there. I'm going to flip this so you should be able to read it. Well, at least I hope I flip it. Wine. This I was stoked to get. I actually really like this one. I wanted this one. When I've been watching it, I wanted the Quaker Halloween. I've seen it pop up a few times on other people's channels, and I really would have really wanted to watch that one. Watch Stitch, Wine. Sorry, Wine. Another Stony Creek, Spooktacular Halloween, which is actually also very cute. I might do that one day. No guarantees. This one, randomly, is probably my favourite one out of the whole lot, and I'm more likely to do this one, and it's got nothing to do with Halloween at all, as near as I can tell. But we have a very big dairy industry, and I can actually see this going on the wall in one of my kids' houses. So yeah, that one, which is, I actually read that and forgot it already, Trouble Cow Skull. And that was my $200 box. So forgive me if I'm wrong, and I don't mean to be picky or ungrateful, but I kind of feel ripped off. I have another one coming. I have the fantasy one coming because I bought that before this one arrived. Had I known, I probably wouldn't have purchased it, so I've got all the things crossed that maybe this one might be a little bit more up my alley. But on the other side of that, I've managed to score a couple of boxes from the Black Needle Society that I'm really excited about. I've been on the waiting list for 18 months. I haven't been able to get the thing to work, and then I actually messaged them and said, every time I get to the thing, I get the swirling thing of doom. And they went, double click. And I was like, really? And they were like, yeah. And I double clicked, and now I have 2 boxes coming. I have the January box coming, and I have the Gilmore Girls retreat coming as well, which is, I'm not 100% sure I should have bought that one because Gilmore Girls are really, I enjoyed the show, but yeah. And it's 3 years in, so is there going to be things in there that don't make any sense to me? We'll wait and see. But I managed to, and I've bought a few things from the Halloween one and the November one. I've got the Stitching Diary coming. Very excited about that. But as of today, I received my invitation email after being on the waiting list for 18 months and now am a member, so I get to do all of them, which really excites me. They do such amazing work, and I am so excited about being a part of that. I guess that's kind of why I possibly was a bit disappointed by the Colour Cascades one, but like I said, I've been having an awful lot of trouble with it, and I've messaged Tammy a couple of times, and I just get back, look at the website, which the website says 6 to 8 weeks and not 6 to 8 months, which is starting to appear that that's the case. The just not feeling like you're a priority doesn't really make you want to keep going down that path. In saying that, I do live in New Zealand. If anybody knows anyone that does hand-dyed fabric in New Zealand, or project bags or anything like that, because they are so expensive to get here, hook me up, let me know. Also, I would love to tag in a bunch of people, like I've been watching in the last 24 hours since I got the internet. I watched the Hugo Stitcher, Samantha, I can never say it properly. I watch Autumn Lane, I watch obviously the Black Needle Society. I love Crisscross Stitch. I watch Darcy. Who else do I watch? Oh, Alexis, My Stitchy World. I don't know how to tag them in. I'm an idiot. I tried last time and it failed miserably. So yeah, to my 1 subscriber, hi. Hope you get doubled this time. If you don't, that's fine too. But feel free to interact with me. Follow me on Instagram. I'm also tones70_71 on Insta. And yeah, I'm going to go back to watching some more Flosstube and putting my stuff away. Because now I can. Now I can actually do the things. I've been putting the things aside so that I can do the things later. So now I can put them aside and do the things later. Whereas before I was like, nope, don't touch that. Have to show it. Have a great night, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.